What's up, guys? Today I'm here with the semifinal battle for Cell. The league went into the playoff tournament early, and I had a bye week for the first week because I was 4-0 and I was the #1 seed. So here's a replay of my battle against Liam, who we just faced in UNL, and we're facing him here in the semifinals for our shot to get into the finals and try to get the championship. And against him, I brought a real offensive team. My Zapdos was expert belt 4 attacks with signal beam to hit Hoopa. Pelipper was fully physically defensive with Damp Rock. Kabutops was Waterium Z with Sword Stance, Liquidation, Aqua Jet, and Facade for Vaporeon. And Celesteela was Atomize with an expert belt, especially attacking. Slowbro was Trick Room with 3 attacks, max special attack, quiet. And Arcurum was mixed attacking Assault Vest with just enough speed to be faster than Mamoswine and Hoopa. So I'm going to dive into the replay here. I should mention that I did do a live comm of this, but I didn't really love the way it turned out, so I thought I could do it a little bit better if I did a post-comm on this battle. And I'm going to dive into that. I should mention I was really worried about Vaporeon. I was expecting him to bring it, and it not coming was a big deal for me. It opened things up, especially for Slowbro, because Slowbro did not have the coverage for it. It had Size Shock, Surf, and Signal Beam. And I was going to have to try to wear it down a little bit earlier in the game before I could try to make a real sweep with something. So it not being there really did open things up. Here I was expecting potentially Hoopa as his lead with Mamoswine as an alternative possibility. So I just led off with Zapdos, knowing that if he did lead off with Mamoswine, I could just go into Slowbro and put some pressure on. So I'm going to hit play here, and then I've got the volume on. My mistake. And we're going to switch sides, so we're over here, and then we're going to play it. And he's going to lead off with Clefable. And as you all know, Clefable's just a busted rock setter. I'm not sure what's going on with the screen here. I'm having some issues with the website. Oh, there. My bad there. I'm not really sure what happened. Anyway, he switches. I went in. Oh, I gotta go back. Okay, he let off with Clefable, and I had to switch into Celesteela hard because Zapdos was not able to break this, and he gets up rocks. And I'm going to just throw off a Flash Cannon knowing it'll hit anything. Except, man, this is really lagging. Except we see here that his Hoopa is Assault Vest, and it's going to take the Flash Cannon real well. So I'm going to go hard into Pelipper. I was expecting him to throw off a Hyperspace Fury, and I just had no switch-ins for it. I brought fully Hyper Offensive because with Hoopa I couldn't really wall it, so if I tried to play balance I was just going to give it too many opportunities to take chunks out, and I knew I had to basically be able to punish it for coming in, and that's why I have the offensive team I have. So I went hard into Pelipper just expecting to sack it, but he does not go for the Hyperspace Fury, and he instead goes for a Fire Punch, leaving me out of range of Hyperspace Fury. So here I can just U-turn, and I ran the Calcs here, and my Waterium Z on the Kabutops was a roll to knock it out in his favor if he was fully physically defensive, but I wasn't sure if it would be. So I thought I'd just take my chance here to get a lot of pressure on him. Nothing was going to take the Waterium too well, and I was just going to throw it off here. And I'm going to go for it, and we're going to see that it's knocking him out. So that's great. And here he brings in Hitmonchan, and I know that Slowbro's going to be able to take anything from that. And then I could here just throw off a Psy Shock and knock it out. It would also cover maybe a Roserade play if he wanted to make it. But I knew he'd be thinking about the Psy Shock. So I just threw off a Signal Beam, and I hit Hoopa. And I was max special attack quiet, and I was able to knock that out, and that was colossal because that was the biggest problem he had for my team. Here he goes into Salamence, and I know Slowbro is super bulky, so I wasn't really worried about that. I just set up my Trick Room because I couldn't let him set up Dragon Dance without it. And we'll see that he won't be able to knock me out, and I'll be able to 2 KO him with Psyshock. And he's looking really vulnerable to Slowbro now in the Trick Room. He doesn't really have anything for it. We see Roserade come out, and I'm not scared of that. I'm just going to throw off a Psyshock and take it out. And now we kind of see where this game's going. He goes into Mamoswine, and I'm just going to throw off his Surf and take that out. He goes out into Kabutops, and just my safest way to play was to click Psyshock and make sure that thing didn't set up. And he just goes for Drain Punch. I'm not sure if that's a prediction or not, but I'm able to knock it out with Psyshock. And that's going to be the game. We're going to take a 6-0 victory and head on to the finals against the winner of either Divino or Stan. And yeah, see you guys then. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a good night.